So today we're here to talk about Evexia Diagnostics. Lab testing has been a very common question within our group in Networking Nutritionists, what we're able to do, what tests we have access to, how to access those things if we're an unlicensed practitioner. And so we're going to go through a lot of that today. Evexia has some really great options. And so I'm here with Joanne Iverson. I'll introduce her and she's going to go through all of the things that Evexia has to offer they're doing a really great job at meeting our needs as nutritionists. So Joanne specifically is the Director of Client Relations for Evexia Diagnostics. She has over 25 years of experience in the diagnostic testing field, and Joanne oversees the development and support of new and existing client relationships. She personally onboards new clinicians, both licensed and unlicensed, making sure that they're comfortable with the use and experience of the Evexia Link platform. Joanne is also intimately familiar with all of the features and products that Evexia Diagnostics has to offer. And so that's really what we're doing today. We're going to introduce you. I think Evexia has over 6,000, different laboratory offerings. So we're going to just hit on the high points, I guess, for today to talk about what those offerings are and how that relates to us as nutritionists. So thank you for being here, Joanne.
Thank you, Veronica. It's really great to be here. I just, again, as Veronica had introduced me, I've been on board here with Evexia about 4 years. Our company is almost 16 years old now. And we really started back 16 years ago with chiropractors that were getting into functional medicine and looking at blood chemistry. And over those years, it has just developed into every aspect of anybody looking at integrative health, holistic medicine, functional medicine, and that scope has just widened over the years with that. A clinical nutritionist and nutritionists in general, a big piece of what we do. I think we just, again, outside of the licensed practitioners, and I'm going to just later on just kind of walk through the dashboard, the tests. Veronica is going to keep me on track and ask me some questions here and there, make sure that I'm covering everything. But for several years, we've had practitioners that have said, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I want to be able to order the labs for my clients that I feel are going to make the most sense to get to the root causes, whether it's a Dutch test or a GI or a nutrition lab or blood work. They just haven't had that. They haven't been successful with that. As you all know, they send their clients or patients back to their primary care, and they just can't have access to these labs. So we open up a platform that makes it very easy for practitioners to be able to order from 20 different lab partners in just a couple quick clicks, and just a lot of other support that we have with that.
Wonderful. Yeah, thank you for that introduction to what we'll talk about today. For everyone who is here live, please feel free to use the chat or the Q&A function in the webinar. If you have questions as we're going through, if Joanne's showing something on her screen and you have questions about it, feel free to pop those in and I can post some of those questions to her as we go. So we do want to make sure that we're answering all of the questions that you have. So off the bat, Joanne, is there anywhere in particular that you want to start with an introduction to Evexia, and I can kind of take your lead?
I just gave you a little bit of overview on what we're all about. Would it make sense for me just to be able to share my screen right now?
Sure.
And then the questions come in with that?
Sure, absolutely, yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Wonderful, yeah.
All right, are you able to see that?
I am, it looks great.
Okay, so a few things. Anybody that is interested in learning about Evexia and having a chance to look over anything, there is a discount code or coupon that is the NN250 for any signups working through Veronica. Prior to that, you can go right to Evexia Diagnostics, and there is a link on the right-hand side where you can sign up to view prices and services. And maybe I can show you at the end of it because I just went to a trial user. But what will happen with that is you will get a username and a password. It's good for 30 days. It is not going to let you basically order any kits for yourself or be able to place any orders, but it'll take you to the dashboard. And everybody has the same dashboard. The only difference when you sign up with Evexia, it's going to have welcome with your clinician name, and then your location's going to be on there. And then, of course, you're going to have a client ID. So this is a demo site. It won't really let you order labs, but it does give you access to really see how we're laid out. And I just wanted to go through a few tabs where you can go on that when you want to sign up, just to be able to look over prices and services with that. So when you're on the main page, you're just on the dashboard. Whoops, let's get back over in that section. That will be on here. So let me just have that generate one more time. Give me 1 second. Let's see where we are there. Dashboard, testing. I'm supposed to have my screen populating right here. There we go. Okay. Sorry, everyone. So let's have this just refresh with that. Dashboard is the main page. What we keep very fresh on here is anything that's going to be new. We do highlight a lot of webinars on a lot of different labs. As we introduce any new electronic medical records, we are making that announcement. Every day I get questions on when we are going to be integrated with Practice Better, or now they call themselves Better. And so if you as nutritionists are on board with that, we've been working for a year to get that integrated. We are probably about 30 days out from that. But I know it's a great platform, which means that your lab results will go right into patient records for medical records with that. So we just keep this area up here updated by the month of just anything that's going to be a new feature. From the dashboard, it's going to be a testing tab. And this testing tab is going to be laid out. Everybody has the same prices here at Evexia. So when you click on this section from the testing tab, it's going to bring you to a main section. It's going to bring you to the Evexia Diagnostics test directory. And then in this section, if you're able to scroll down, it's going to give you a couple featured labs that just make it very easy to learn about a GI map or a Dutch test, organic acids, just some things that are very, not necessarily more popular than others, but they're all in that area because they're very common. But below that section, you're able to see all of our laboratory partners. So we have cash-based pricing. We've been able to go back to all of our lab partners and really get discounted prices. So everywhere that's in here, as you would navigate through, if you were just interested in a Dutch test, for example, you're able to click on the Dutch test. The way it's going to be laid out with the test menus, it's going to give you everything in alphabetical order. In this section, you're able to then click on Dutch Complete, for example. It's going to give you information about what this test is, how it may compare to other types of hormone testing, and it's going to really give you a detailed descriptions on that. It's going to give you a sample report. It's going to let you know it's a kit-based and the turnaround time, and then the sample report is going to be there that you have a chance to be able to see all of those. So it is really laid out in that same section. If you look at something, I don't know, Veronica, if you had asked me anything for Genova,
Yeah,
but you know,
there's a few tests that have come up pretty frequently within the group. So Dutch is definitely one of them that I've gotten asked about a lot. The GI map is another one. SpectraCell that offers a micronutrient panel. ZRT with their thyroid panel, or you folks have a thyroid panel as well. So all of those things, I just want everyone who's watching either live or with the playback to understand that working with Evexia means that you don't have to have a separate account with each of those different providers. So you're not needing to go directly to Precision Analytical for a Dutch test. You've got this one single dashboard where you're managing all of these different tests.
Yes, Veronica, that's a great point with that too. And again, depending on the scope of practice for nutritionists, you are either licensed or you're not licensed. Let me just show you just a really quick example again of how to navigate through and look up a GI effect. This is a Genova test, but it's going to give you analytes that are in there, order information, and a sample report for everything that we do. So it's all going to be broken out in that test menu. When you go into a GI map, really easy, it's going to give you the information here, but GI map is from Diagnostic Solutions. So you can click on the lab partner Diagnostic Solutions, and then from there be able to navigate through and see your price, the clinician price for a GI map, $287, analytes, order information, sample report, and you can download all that. So the easiest place to find out everything that's available is going to be in this testing section or the test menu. And a few places, from the trial credentials or when you sign up, you can get through tabs across the top and also through the left-hand side of that. It'll take you to the same place. There's quite a bit for ZRT as well. So when you scroll down through that, you're going to be able to click on ZRT, be able to see many comprehensive panels, thyroid panels. It's pretty extensive with all that. So as Veronica had mentioned too, yes, we are really a platform that will allow everything in one place to be able to order those labs. Couple things I also too, unless there's just questions that you want to ask along the way, we also offer blood chemistry testing, and a lot of this is what we do in the US through LabCorp. We do have some options in Canada working with Dynacare and blood work in a boxed kit. Veronica, I don't know if you and I talked too much about that, but we can always, I can give you some additional information on how, how clinicians are able to take advantage of that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a nice benefit. Because oftentimes as nutritionists, like you said, you're having to send people back to their primary care physician or collaborating with naturopathic doctors or other professionals who are ordering these tests. So it gives so much more flexibility when you're able to manage that on your own. I do have a couple of questions that have popped in, so I'll read that out for you. Kat is asking for kits that require a blood draw like the SpectraCell micronutrient or the Genova Nutri-Eval. Is there a licensed physician that's listed on the test requisition? Because some of our labs in Ontario won't do a blood draw for the unlicensed practitioners.
Everybody that is set up in Canada is set up with our NPI number and our licensure. So those orders are under an Evexia doctor. So with anything that would be a Nutri-Eval or a boxed kit with that, Evexia is the account holder of those labs. So as they provide those results back to us, we are really ordering those on behalf of through our licensure for you. So it is covered with our NPI number and our name, and it's a medical director, Will Blankenship.
Wonderful. The other question that came through was asking if these prices, are in Canadian dollars or US dollars.
Great question. This is in US dollars.
Good question. Thank you, Hera.
Oh.
And then she's also asking, do we send the test kit back to Evexia? Do you want to talk a little bit about the process, how you would follow a test from ordering to getting it to the client and then how they send it in?
Sure, absolutely. Everything that's going to be a boxed kit is going to have everything included. So it is going to have overnight shipping, whether it's FedEx or UPS, most of that is overnight shipping, and that is all paid for. So it'll be a boxed kit that'll have everything inside of it. And where that is really done on here is through the dashboard. Where you would place any orders is going to be a section that's called Evexia Link Lab Orders. And when you are in that section, it is going to have you add new patient, each new patient. This is the test site, so it's not going to really let me do too much in here, but in this area, you would go to add new patient. You're going to put your patient demographics that are in there. And once they're in there, they're going to show in the directory right above in the way that was created. So to order anything, and using this example as a test patient, it's going to give you an area. I don't mind any of this area in here. You can tell these are demo orders and people trying to open orders and see how the process of that works. But you have an area, once your patient or the client is registered in there, it's going to be able to give you a section that you could edit their information, just in case it was wrong, or they move, or their email address changes, or anything with that. So it will let you be able to do that. From there, you're going to just go to add new lab order. It's going to walk you through this. So you're either ordering LabCorp for conventional labs in the US, if it's going to be specialty labs for our Canadian nutritionists, you're just going to be able to click that. And then it's going to walk you right through it. There's going to be an area in here. There's some highlighted labs that are up here at the top that just make it really easy to star things as a favorite, depending on what your practice is going to be and what you want to do. I just want to show you how to do that really quick. I'm just removing some favorites, but there'll be menus in here. And these are the 20 or so different labs we work with. So if you were looking for, you wanted to order through Diagnostic Solutions, you're able to click on that. You're able to find the GI map. You could start right here to the top, so it's up there as a favorite. So you don't have to go look through the 13 tests each time. You could do the same thing with any of the Dutch, ZRT, really anything through here, precision analytical. Let's highlight a Dutch cycle mapping, just so it's there. So it just makes it very easy to place those orders. If you were going to order anything, you could go through, if it wasn't starred, you're going to be able to go through and look up a NutraVal. Let me spell that the right way, NutraVal. And I'm able to add the first morning void and plasma to the cart. It's going to put a cart total that's going to be in there. And then you're going to, on the bottom of this, it's going to be able to let you see what the price is. I do want to maybe ask some questions or see, Veronica, if you have questions about payment. So please just make a note that we can circle back around that. And placing your order. It's going to make you agree to the terms and the conditions and then place that order. It's going to come up at an end too. Do you want Evexia Diagnostics to drop ship the kit to my patient, or no, I have a kit in stock? A lot of you are probably working virtual and you don't want to keep kits in your office. So it's as easy as making that click at the end of it. And then from there, we have a shipping department that is going to package that up with the requisition form. And that's going to go out and there'll be tracking information that you'll be able to see in the patient section. Okay.
And then I guess following that line of thinking through, so Hira's question was, do we send the kits back to you at Evexia? So no, there would be information in the test kit, how to send it to the lab that's actually running the testing. And maybe you can talk a bit more about that, Joanne. I know all of the shipping and that is usually included in the test kit.
Right, so there'll be instructions inside the box, there'll be a FedEx or a UPS overnight, and there'll be a clinical lab pack that's in there. So all of those instructions, everything is in there, nothing comes back to Evexia. We are not a testing laboratory. So as those results also come back to you, those results are going to come back exactly as how you're used to seeing that. So you would place the orders in your Evexia account, and then as you have new results that are available, we will provide an email notification once a day when you have brand new results. We are not sending faxes, printing anything in the mail. We're not shipping anything to you unless you want kits going to you. So when those results come back, there's going to be an email notification letting you know you have brand new results. When you click on that, it's going to take you right to the lab results section. So this is a true example of just where some sample lab results are in this area. And again, they are samples. This is LabCorp, so it's blood work. We do have a specialty lab example that's in here. And so on the left-hand side, you're going to see this is a GI 360 stool test. So that is how those results will come back. Let's see what else we have in here. This is a US biotech, a food inflammation test. But it would say, Genova Diagnostics, it's going to say ZRT, it's going to have the lab partner and the information that's in there. Brand new results will appear in this section. Once you've clicked on that, as you see, it says new, it's bolded and it says new. Once you have clicked on this link and noticed that a result has been available, the next time that you would be logging into your Evexia account, you are not going to see the same information in here because the system will recognize that you've looked at those results, but they do not disappear. So then from that section, you're able to ever just go in and do a first name and a last name and hit submit, and every result is going to come back for that patient on those orders.
Wonderful. Do you want to circle back around at this point and talk about the payment aspect of the test?
Yeah, that's great. So we will we have a $50 annual client participation fee with Evexia. There are no minimum labs at all. So we either have the ability to bill the clinician when those results come back. We also do offer Evexia Direct. That is our patient pay platform. Again, it is going to be in US dollars. What that will The two options with that then are going to show you anything that we billed you on your account. So it's going to show you at a glance with a billing statement. If we are billing you, again, we probably are in this demo site that may not have a statement that's in there, but there'll be a statement that'll be broken out for any charges for each month. And it's going to break it out with that. On the left-hand side, we have a section for the patients. So the difference between the two payment options are if we are billing the practitioner, we are charging your credit card on file when those results finalize and they are back on your Evexia account. If the patient is paying Evexia, they do pay 5% more. So they would also pay if there would be additional shipping. There are shipping fees for GI map, and some of the labs, not all the labs have our shipping fee, but most of them do. But we have the flexibility that you can pick and choose on those orders if you prefer us to charge you or if you want us to bill your client for those lab results or for the tests.
Wonderful. And then the last step, I guess, would be after you've received these results back from a client, do you want to go through some of the support materials that are available in terms of handouts and webinars and your client support, the Ask the Doctor, and some of those different features?
Yes, I'd love to. So, and feel free again, if you have the trial credentials, this looks the same for everybody. There's going to be a tools section that you're able to click on and a client resources area and a client resources home. These are supplemental information, training, tutorials, webinar, some of the other content that we have available on here. So when you click on the tools, the client resources section is going to take you over in this section. Over here, we do have just this section is going to be a little bit more about Evexia Direct. If you do want patients to be or your clients to pay Evexia, we do need to have this form completed once you enroll. We have a link or line to the Evexia webinar series. So when you click on this section, this is always being updated. We're doing about 2 webinars a month. So there's a lot of different topics that you're able to scroll through. Blood sugar, gut health, food sensitivity. It's going to kind of bring all of that together, or basically all of those webinars that are in there. So this is one that we did last week or 2 weeks ago with Precision Analytical, specifically on Dutch. We've got methylation, we've got food inflammation, quite a bit on that, genetics, a little bit on blood chemistry, and some genetic labs. And so all of these are educational. Here is the micronutrient test. So we do offer the introduction to micronutrient testing. And then, of course, here's NutriVal, and there's organic acids, and quite a few different areas that are in here. Some of these are also in this section. If I can just go back in here, back to the webinar section, this long linker line. We also have some of these over in this section, which we need to revamp and combine all of these in the same area. So on the left-hand side here, some more detailed information specifically on the GI map. So we've got a white paper, the sample interpretation guide that you're able to download. We've got that for Dutch. Quite a few different areas where we're able to provide, some of that information all in one place. Wanted to just go right back here, take you back to the main page. Let me just give that a refresh with that. So that went over the Evexia webinar series. I do want to make sure that you do know that we do have Ask the Doctor. When you click on this again, not where you would actually perform this or ask to have labs reviewed. Dr. Wayne Sedana is our Director of Clinical Support and Education here with Evexia. I've personally known him for about 4 years. We have a service here that is a free email consultation. Any questions on lab interpretation? What type of labs do I offer? I'm working with a client suffering from IBS or nutrition, or you're just not sure what type of labs to order. What is the difference between a particular GI map, and also Genova's got a GI effects. So he gets questions like this, like, are they the same? What are the differences between some of the labs? But this section is really just going to kind of give you a little bit on his bio and what he does here with Evexia. I want to show you where you are able to do that on your Evexia account. So it's going to be on the left-hand side. It is a free service for an email consultation. It'll take you right over in this section where you're able to schedule. It's a free, it's almost like live chat. So you're not even really scheduling anything that's going to be a live consultation. But the free consultation, when you click in there, you do have to put in a couple of these fields. Please review my GI map, or review Dutch test, patient name. If it's a general question, just in the subject line, a question on what type of labs to do. In this section 2, if it is something, you really just kind of go in and type a sentence in there or a paragraph. You're going to agree to the terms and the conditions. And then from there, you're going to be able to go ahead and check back in a couple hours, because he is very responsive with getting back with you for any email consultation. And your answer then is going to show in here. It's going to let you know it's been read. It's open. And so this is really your live chat with Dr. Sedano. This is really what he does here outside of some webinars, working through us with that. Everything is stored in there, so you can go back years later and you can look at your question and his answer. If you do want a live consultation, then you're able to sign up for that. I think a lot of questions that he gets, and I just wanted to kind of spearhead that with you, is, how can I interpret this result if I'm a nutritionist? Or, what is going to be, what do you recommend for any next further testing or supplementation? There are no right or wrong questions or answers, because everybody's at a little bit of a different pace with the education that they have on the utilization of the labs and understanding that. So he reviews a lot of GI maps. He looks at a lot of Dutch tests, organic acids, just a second opinion. We do have some health coaches and some non-licensed practitioners that just do have him take one quick peek at that, because they just want to be sure that they're on the, that they have the tools and they feel like they're going to be able to work with that client for further labs and to be able to continue to make those recommendations and next treatment plans. So that is, I think it's very valuable. We are here also too, when you are on your Evexia account or come on board, there's live chat right on the left-hand side that'll take you right to our client services team that is right outside my office. We currently have 7 client services reps, fabulous people here. We're here till 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So everywhere with any question, we're always available with the info at and our phone number and the information that's in there. The other area I wanted to make sure, Veronica, that you know about and you pointed out is we have a section called Marketing Solutions. When you click on this link or tab, it is going to bring you to something we started only 2 years ago. And we had some of our practitioners said, it'd be really neat if we could kind of customize some information, make some sheets and videos, that we can, co-brand with information that will just provide enough information for their patients or their clients on the labs. So you can scroll through any of this. This is absolutely free, available. This is just an example of a GI map. We customize this with your logo and practice information. A lot of our practitioners work virtual, so they don't want their physical street address noted on there. Absolutely, we don't have to do that. Everybody's particular about their certification or their credentials, so we can really make this any way you want to. So this is just a GI map. There's several in here for there's the micronutrient test that's in here. That's this one that you can look at. Feel free to look at those. And then there's a few videos that we can also co-brand for you. Dutch test is right here. That's very common. And we just continue to add to this. We do offer two very short videos. This is 1 minute long. It just kind of understands what the relevance of a GI map is and what that is doing for a client or a patient to understand. At the end of that 1 minute, the clinician contact information comes up on there. We send it back to you just as a YouTube link that you can download and upload. You can share on social media. You can use on your website, just making introductions to some of the labs that you want to support or any of the labs that you want to recommend. So between those marketing solutions and the videos, we're always adding some new ones with all that too. That is absolutely a free service that we offer here with Evexia. So that's all under the tools and the client resources in this section in there.
So Sarah has just put into the chat that this is amazing with a bunch of exclamation marks. And I agree, it's really a huge convenience because the Evexia platform is following you through every single step that you need as a nutritionist to be able to offer this type of laboratory testing to your clients, and the support to learn about it as well, as Joanne was just going through. So if you don't have experience yet with some of these more specialty tests, that's okay, because you have the support to learn from those webinars, to read the white papers, to connect with the doctor, and really add that to your tool belt of things that you're able to offer to your clients. Earlier, I missed a question, Joanne, about the HTMA test. Can we kind of scroll back a little bit to what we were talking about before? She was asking, how does it work? How do you ship the test kit? And how does the instructional part work for the client as well? How hands-on are we going to need to be as clinicians with walking them through doing an HTMA test as an example?
So we actually don't work with HTMA. We do carry, let me just give you an example of that. I don't know if we may be looking at them or not, but if I go into my test menu and I know that that is something very similar that we do just from speaking with other practitioners, a doctor's data is a lab that is combined with Labrix now. So there's salivary hormones and neurotransmitters and a lot of things that they do. But if you scroll down through here, this is where I do refer people. There's a hair toxic element exposure profile. It is $60. So that's what's just going to give you the, a little overview on what that is. Hair elements, some detailed information in there. The second tab of that is going to give you aluminum, down to zinc of what you're getting with all that too. Order information is going to be in there. And then, of course, you have your sample report if you want to download that. I think this is very comparable to HTMA. If it's not, and we need to look at maybe another provider, we do keep adding other lab partners that we have with that. But the box kit is going to include everything inside of it. There's going to be instructions for the patient. The order form is completed based on you entering and registering the client in a Evexia link. Then from there, we've got the address, we've got their name, we've got their date of birth, and we are printing that information on the requisition form that goes inside the box. And then we're shipping that box kit. We are open that patients can call us. They also have the ability, that they can reach out to us with any questions on that when they do get a kit. It does have Evexia information that's in there. It's not going to have necessarily pricing in that box or anything. It's just going to be the requisition form, the instructions, contact information to reach us at Evexia between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. And then again, if they've got questions on how to actually do the collection, a lot of that we do have, but it's not necessarily housed in this section. We just have that, or we can go to doctor's data, we can go to Genova and get specific patient instructions for you.
Wonderful. And I have another question here from Kat. She said, for kits that expire, and this could, I guess, be if you're keeping stock in your own office, or for clients who don't do the test right away or they change their mind, do you offer to ship a replacement, or is there refunds offered? Where's the payment piece with those kits that might get shipped and not used?
It's really easy just to swap those kits out if they expire. Now, there is some of the kits, the shipping is free, but keep in mind, you're not going to be charged for that GI map until that's back, or the Dutch test, if we're going to be billing you. So really all we're doing is with Dutch, there's no shipping in Canada at all. For the GI map, it is $48. So there is a $48 shipping fee there and back. If those kits expire, we'll just drop ship those to you free. I mean, there's no reason not to, but the expiration date on those kits is generally just about a year for those ones that do have a reagent inside that, like a GI map.
And then I have another question here. This is jumping a little bit back to the beginning. Lisa's asking, to join Evexia, she sees on the website that there is an initial fee and then a $50 a year fee on top of that. So she's wanting to make sure that that's correct. So Lisa, I'll say first, if you wanted to scroll back up to the top of the chat, I shared a link that takes you to Networking Nutritionists landing page with Evexia. And on that page, there is a coupon code NN250. And so that waives that initial fee if you use our Networking Nutritionist coupon code. So then it's just that $50 a year. And did you want to explain a little bit again about that $50 a year, Joanne?
Yes, so that the discount code or coupon for NN250 so it takes the $250 off. So the discount code or coupon is just NN250. So there is no $250 enrollment fee. So we do have a $50 annual client participation fee. So when you do sign up with Evexia, it will ask you to put a credit card on file. That you would keep on file with us, and then we do bill the $50 within a few days after that. Again, there's $50. There's no minimum requirements. We bill you as those labs come back, unless your patients are going to pay for that. You always have access to the Ask the Doctor, the tools, the client resources section, and somebody live that's going to be able to work through, answer questions, look up status of results during these hours, Monday through Friday. We're always going to be available for that. So that's why we really do provide all that, those additional services, with that under our marketing solutions and the webinars and some of the other information that we have here. So it is $50. It does auto renew after 12 months, unless you do not want to keep your account open with Evexia. But that's really it.
Excellent. You folks who've joined us live have had some really great questions. That's excellent. I think all the questions that I had for you, Joanne, you've really gone through. Is there anything else that is standing out to you that you want to make sure that you mention to our members?
I think we covered everything under the platform and all the lab partners that we work with. Dutch, GI map, SpectraCell, Genova ZRT, we did all that. So we did cover over that. Again, I think just reiterating, the benefits is that depending on your licensure, you may be able to go and have some of these labs or have accounts with labs, but maybe not all of those labs. So as I say to even practitioners that can have an account with Dutch or some of the labs, you will see the same price that you would pay them is the same price that you're going to get from Evexia. So it is one credit card on file, one client services team, one place to kind of manage all that and to be able to pick and choose and do the labs, that you want to do. That's in there. I think we went over just making sure ordering functional lab testing as a non-licensed professional. Anybody that is in Canada, all of those orders are going to be under Evexia. So it's going to be our licensure. I don't know if I mentioned this, and I want to make sure I reiterate that. Every order has a $15 requisition fee using the Evexia network that covers our NPI number and our licensure so that you are able to place those orders all through Evexia. So a GI map, for example, $287 US dollars, and there's going to be a $15 requisition fee. That's in place with that. But again, that just kind of goes over being able to have all of that in one place. Delivering test kits directly to your clients is huge. We also have a way that if you want to order a Dutch test and a GI map and a hair, you can order all of that, on that same site where you're able to go into Evexia link, after the patient's registered, be able to order those labs there. So we can order multiple kits all in one place for that. We went over the handouts and the educational opportunities, webinars, and things like that. So no, I kind of think I covered most of
I
what
think
I
you
wanted to
did,
cover.
yeah. And I don't see any more questions coming in. I want to reiterate to everyone who's watching, you mentioned right at the beginning that you are working on integrating with Practice Better, now calling themselves Better. And we actually have Brittany from Practice Better coming on at the end of this month to talk about that platform. We've had a lot of interest from folks who are transitioning or have transitioned to a virtual practice and looking at some of these systems that are going to make their lives more convenient, where we're doing less little menial management pieces in our individual practices and able to focus more of our energy on actual client care. And so Practice Better and that integration now with Evexia and having Evexia Diagnostics, where you can order all these different tests under one platform. It's just a couple more options to really streamline your individual practices. Again, so more of your energy is going towards client care, helping to scale businesses, and making sure that you're delivering the best quality service possible. So I really wanted to have you on, Joanne, and go through this platform because I think it's a great option for a lot of us, licensed and unlicensed, to be able to offer some of these things to our clients.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think your landing page turned out beautiful. I think it really kind of sets the tone of the messages that you are relaying to all the clinicians that you're working with, and being able to provide a solution that the nutritionist can order all these labs. So I think you did a great job with that. NN250, if you do not want to sign up yet, or just, not quite ready to onboard or come on board with that too, if you just go to EvexiaDiagnostics.com, a lot of good content that's on there. Very much of that you were able to also see on the dashboard. There is no pricing that is on the regular site, but on the right-hand side is an area that'll say register for an account, which then you could go through and put NN250 as you go through that, or you can there's a link that says register for trial credentials to view prices and services. You don't put any credit card in, nothing happens with that. It just takes you to the platform that I was able to show you through. Keep in mind, you can't order kits and really do too much, but you're able to access the tools and the client resources service and be able to see all the lab sample reports and everything we do.
That's wonderful. Yeah, it's such a great resource to be able to kind of poke around and get a sneak peek to what Evexia offers. If you're not quite ready to take the jump and join them yet, you can look at some more of those resources and the different testing options on your own time and see if it'll be something that matches up with your individual practice. So thank you so much, Joanne, for coming on and doing this tonight. You provided so much great information. I hope everyone does go on, check out Evexia. I think for a lot of you, I know I've fielded some questions. I think this is a great option for many of you who are looking for solutions for your practice. So thank you for sharing that with us, Joanne. And for coming on, and thank you to all of you who joined us live. You had great questions, which was excellent as well. I'm glad we could answer those.
Yeah, those were great questions. And again, Veronica can share my email. My role here at Evexia is really just this. I really like to provide the education. We have several people that will sign up and they just go to that link and they sign up and then they log on and they're like, where do I order and how can I find out? And they're amazed with all of the menu and the extent, just what we have to offer and all of those services. So I also do reach out to everybody once they do sign up, make sure that they receive their welcome letter. I always just like to personally thank all of our clinicians coming on board and just make sure that they signed up for something. We want to be able to help you understand these labs and use them and feel comfortable with them. And we just want you to be successful and be able to grow this and spread the news and find new clients and continue to work with all these great tools to do what you do.
That's excellent. So for all of you who are watching live, this will be available for playback as well if you want to go back and watch how Joanne was navigating that dashboard or anything like that. With the replay, when that goes up in the group, we'll have the information for the landing page, the coupon code, Joanne's email, all of those things that you can use to take full advantage of this. So that will be up soon. And of course, if there's any other questions, then you'll have Joanne's contact information, or you're free to contact me as well. And anything that I can answer, I will do that also. So thank you one last time, Joanne, for joining us. We'll let everyone get on with their evenings. So this was a great period of time to spend together, and I hope everyone learned a lot.
Thank you. My pleasure. Nicely done, Veronica. Thank you.
Take good care. Have a good night.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.